So anyway, welcome to Don't Tell Me to Shut Up. I have been gone for a very long time.
What's your drink?
I don't have one. Not yet. I got a lot of serious things to talk about. Okay. And I want to be lucid. I want to be clear about these things. So much has happened since the last podcast. And my apologies. I know people have been DMing me and emailing me and asking me when is the next new podcast. Not the old ones, but the new ones. But, I just, these 6 girls in my head, sometimes they want to participate. Sometimes they don't.
They forgive you. They forgive you.
No, the girls in my head or the people who are.
Oh, no, your peoples, your fans.
Oh, well, I have fans. Stop it.
Yes, you do.
Don't be silly.
The Jasmine crew. We got to give them a name.
Yeah, okay. Well, first of all, let's let them exist before we give them a name. Anyway, hey, Lena, hey.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing.
Oh,
just, in my feelings about a lot of stuff.
Oh, well, tell them what you... Oh, man, I forgot. No,
see, that's why you can't stay gone too long, because people forget. They just... Anyway, first of all, let me start off by giving you my current situation, if I can. No, I don't even want to do that anymore.
What?
I do. I'm going to talk about my current situation.
So talk about it.
My current situation is I am really upset. Not upset. Upset is a strong word. I have been pensive.
Okay.
Regarding a guy that I dated in college.
Okay.
I feel like he fucked everything up.
Why? Is it like a reflection?
Because we were so good in school. Post school, we were, still cool. And then he just fucked it all up.
Ooh.
I mean, they always say you should never go back, right?
Right.
So being very clear and saying that I understand that and I'm not going back. I try not to go backwards, but always move forward. But don't you hate it? Even when it comes to friendships, when you have what seems to be the perfect friend, the perfect situation, and then that particular person does something to fuck it all up.
But
so I've been really pensive about that. I'm assuming it's because it's getting towards the end of the year and you're starting to think about things in your past and things that you should throw away and things you should let go of. That's one of those things I'm working on.
That's probably what it is. But I in some cases, I believe people need to move forward. In some cases, sometimes your soulmate just needed some time to grow.
Who said soulmate?
No, I'm just saying.
I didn't say
general,
that word,
it could be a friendship. Like sometimes people just need time to grow and get to the level. I've known plenty of people who came full circle.
Why are you ducking? What are you ducking?
Oh, I don't know. It feels cool.
It doesn't look cool. It's like you got a crick in your neck.
It's heavy.
Look like you're ducking from the truth.
It's heavy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there is a chance for redemption. For people, for everyone. I think we all grow, we all learn, and we try to move in that. But I think it's more disappointment because I think there were so many things about him that were perfect, at least for me in my mind, in our relationship. And then he had to go and fuck it up with drugs and dumb stuff.
So so if he hadn't fucked it up, where do you think you'll be at this moment?
I don't know. Maybe we would have been together. Maybe we would have been divorced. I don't know. Because, I can't prove a negative. But, it's one of those things where you just take inventory of past relationships, past friendships, and things of that nature. I have a lot of friendships that I know I have fucked up and I wish I had. Mm-hmm. There are friends that I have not dismissed, but because of probably unsolved mysteries within myself, I'm not going to say I can walk away from a situation or a relationship and never think of it again, but there are some cases that I can. I'm not proud of that. And there is a friendship that I have or had, because I don't even know if we're still friends, that I don't know if it's something that I did, something that they did. I'm not quite sure what happened, but we are really not friends anymore, to my knowledge. And I don't know if I should blame myself for that. And I don't know that I have the courage or the care. 2 C's I'm conflicted about, courage or care, to find out what happened.
Yeah, I was about to ask it. If you feel like there's a situation happening in any relationship, do you do you go and seek and find out, or do you just kind of like just let it go?
I don't know, but stop ducking because it's making me very uncomfortable. Okay. I feel like you're either hiding from the law or you got dead bodies in your basement.
I'm sitting down. How am I hiding from?
Because you keep doing this. I'm like, what are you doing? Stop ducking. Just
yeah. Like, do you like? Are you the type of person that would like go and like say, you know what's up? Like, I haven't heard from you in a while. Like,
I would like to think that I am that kind of person, but I'm not. That's me being completely honest, right? It's a tree of trust. But I think, well, first of all, it's one of those things where I just don't know what happened. Like, we stopped talking, and I don't know if I don't think it was me who stopped talking, or if I don't know what happened.
So,
and I don't know if I think part of me is resentful because I feel like I'm not the one who stopped talking, and maybe they made an assumption about me. And I feel like if we're friends, you would have never done that. Or maybe that's exactly what I'm doing, making assumptions.
Right. I mean, but somebody has to be the bigger person.
That ain't me. I'm the small one.
I see. I like.
I'm the
like
itty bitty one. It's not me. I'm trying to grow. In 2023, I'll become the big one. But in the meantime, I'm the small one.
See, that ghosting thing is not for me. Like, if we're friends and like, or whatever, and kind of level, and I messed up, like
that's the key is you messed up,
or vice versa. Like, there has to be a reason why you guys are not speaking. If like, I will be like, hey, what's up? Like, I haven't heard from you in a while. Like, what's happening? And if they don't respond, then I'm like, okay, well,
wow, what a big person you are.
I like closure. I don't like
See,
ghosting.
I'm like Chris Brown. Fuck your closure.
I don't really like ghosting. Like, it doesn't feel well.
But I don't think that's ghosting. I think maybe I was ghosted. I just don't know. And I think that one of the things that I will be doing now towards the end of the year, getting ready for 2023, is working on caring about closure. I don't care about closure.
Yeah, I don't know. But I do it to you. Like, if I feel like I've messed up, or like if you're upset with me, even if you're not, like, I'll be like, yo, what's wrong? You good? Like, did I do something? Because I want to know, like, how can I make stuff better? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, it's something in my spirit that doesn't let me like just leave conflict the way it is.
And me and you have two different spirits. I don't give a shit. I mean, I care, but I don't. I mean, I'm a work in progress. Okay. I'm working on that. I care, but sometimes I don't. I just keep pushing. Like, I keep moving forward, and I'm like, well, like, I don't know. It's a work in progress. But anyway,
okay. That's 2023 is around the corner. So let's be better.
Who the hell are you talking to? Let's be better. First of all, you should. I'm gonna put a pin right there. Yeah, I'm gonna be better. I'm trying to be better.
I'm saying that I'm perfect.
I never said that. Never said that. But I'll work on that particular area.
Okay.
Anyway, moving right on into what I want to focus on this particular podcast is this whole Megan Thee Stallion situation. You and I have differed on this from the very beginning.
What?
We have. You don't want to admit it, but and I don't think that you realize what you're saying when you say it or when you suggest it. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. It's not just about you. It's just in general, right? Like, for me, first of all, everyone knows now what happened or what they think happened based on the facts that have come out. But everybody is all over the place. I'm certain that people are sick and tired of hearing about it, because I am.
Right.
To tell you the truth, I'm over it, because I feel like there's so much murk in the water that I'm over it. I'm over the judgment. I'm over the criticism. I'm over everything. The thing that I am most frustrated about is the lack of care or concern about a young Black woman who was shot. And I feel as if people want to bring in all of these other things that have absolutely nothing to do with whether or not she was shot or if she's okay.
Right.
And I have a huge problem with that. I think her body count, I think who she was sleeping with, I think who she decided to forgive or not as a friend, none of those things have anything to do whatsoever with the fact that she was shot. Now, you can guess, you can assume, you can speculate, you can do all of that about who shot who, but she clearly didn't shoot herself.
Right.
From the very moment that the story broke, most people were against her. Most people found her story not credible. Most people ridiculed her presence,
right?
Just who she is. And then it turned into, well, she was sleeping with him, or, you know, she was mad at him, or, you know, she lied, or and I'm like, but the evidence is contrary to all of that. So at the end of the day, you have a situation that none of us, sans the people who were in the truck, were there, but we all have an opinion about it. I don't have an opinion on who she was sleeping with. I don't care that she was sleeping with Tory Lanez. I don't think that means she deserves to be shot. I don't know if she was sleeping with Tory, right? There have been all kinds of stories as to whether, you know, she said she was, she said she wasn't. I know she did a Gayle King interview. She said she wasn't. Even at that point, I thought, doesn't matter. There was a bullet in her foot. So somebody shot her. She didn't shoot herself, right? We already know that because of forensics. So to now have weigh in the balance whether or not she was shot to be based on who she was sleeping with, her relationship to the people who were in the car, keeps coming up. And the entire internet is so focused on how much they hate her because she was sleeping with Tory, or, oh my God, how can you do that to him? And I'm like, yeah, but he could have been the one who shot her. How could he do that to her? What happened to protecting Black women?
Right.
I'm so confused. And even in our conversations, the repeating or parroting of, yeah, well, you know, I don't know. I don't know. It was always the answer. I'm like, but what you do know is that she was shot. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter about was she sleeping with this person or that person. We all knew she didn't shoot herself. That was obvious by the reports, by the incident, everything, even down to people on social media questioning if in fact she was really shot at all. She went to the hospital. She had to release photos. She didn't have to, but I think she felt compelled to do so because people were questioning.
Right.
When you are an artist or any person of that magnitude, you know the truth will eventually come out because you're too big for it not to. If you were afraid about your career, which I believe in the very beginning, her thing was, I was afraid to call the cops because it's a Black man with a gun. Mm-hmm. That's what she thought, because she thought immediately that he shot her. I could understand that fear, considering the history of cops showing up on the scene, knowing before you get there are Black people involved and someone has a gun.
Right.
It could have been more bodies, more casualties, more people shot. We see what happens when police are called. So I could understand that. Some people speculated perhaps she was nervous about her career. I get that too. She's one of the first, if not the only, mainstream rap artist outside of Queen Latifah whose image was altered a little bit by mainstream movies, allowing us to see a softer, gentler side of her that allowed her to go in areas that rappers primarily were never welcomed. She didn't change anything. The type of language that she used, the content of her artistry never changed. And still she became a cover girl or a L'Oreal. I don't know what it was, but the fact that she was doing mainstream commercials, unheard of. So I could understand thinking, wow, nobody's gonna want to touch me now. So I just have this thing that gnaws at me that people, men and women, are more concerned with who she was fucking as opposed to someone she deserves justice.
Right. Well, I never said that she wasn't shot. Like I never not have thought that. I just didn't really get too invested. I think I'm more invested now than I was in the beginning. I can't tell you why. It's not that I didn't care. I just didn't really know much about it. And now, now I'm just confused as to who did it. Like, I'm not saying that she didn't get shot, so I'm leaving her out of the picture. now I sometimes I feel like they both did it. Sometimes I feel like she might have done it and believe the theory that perhaps he tried to stop it. Sometimes I think he did it. I just don't know. Like, I don't know how to feel about I don't know who did it. But the fact that she was definitely shot. Now, as far as like what people think, I don't know. People keep saying that her story changed. Like, some people say that first she stepped on glass. Some people say that, and then you kind of clarify that you said, well, at first she was trying to protect him, which makes a lot of sense. So I just, in the beginning, I wasn't really invested in it. Yeah. Now I think it is type of really messed up, but I just don't know. I don't know who did it. And I just think like the whole thing is a bit of a circus. And I feel like, not on her behalf, just in general, like even the people that are like reporting, like everybody just has an opinion and something to say. Like I feel like there is no actual facts coming out of the people that are actually reporting back to us.
Well, I think, first of all, my issue is people who weren't invested and should have been, because it was a young Black woman who was shot at. Right. And I think if you are invested or listen to her music, his music or not, just as a human being, if a young person is shot like that, I think we all should be invested, because it could be your sister, it could be your daughter, it could be your aunt, your mom, it could be any of us. And so I think it behooves us to care about certain things like that. Maybe not to the level of you're all consumed with it, but I certainly think any type of I think we should just be engaged. I think we have to be careful that we spend so much time being focused on things that don't matter and we miss the things that do. And in my opinion, this is a thing that matters, simply because there is this move afoot to protect Black women. But the question is there really a move? Are we really committed to it? And whoever it is that is doing it and saying it, are we really holding ourselves accountable to that? Because either we're going to be concerned about our young Black sisters or we're not. Yeah. So that's kind of my issue or my thought on that. And then in regards to, all of the facts, or not facts, but all of the theories, because they're not facts until they've been proven. Yeah. All of the theories that are coming out. There are so many people who have so much to say who are not reading. And so part of my issue is, don't repeat things of people who have not done their due diligence. So if you're going to have a debate or a conversation with somebody, inform yourself before you start throwing out what your opinion is, because if you don't, someone's going to grab your opinion as fact, even though it might not be fact. It's your opinion, but because they don't read, they don't research. All they have is what you said, and what you said is really just your opinion, and you yourself haven't read either. Right. And so now you're repeating everything that you've heard. So you're adding to all of the theories that are already out there about who shot JR. And my thing is, okay, well, let's look at the facts. We have a ton of witnesses now who have come forward, because now it's going to trial and now we're getting facts. Right. And nobody wants to go to jail from perjury. So now when you are under oath, sworn.
Except for Kelsey.
Well, allegedly. Let me say that, because ain't nobody going to come back and sue me and say I defamed their character. You have to say allegedly. So even when you say allegedly, except for Kelsey.
Allegedly, I don't remember nothing.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I think that just read. Do your homework before you form an opinion about something. Hell, most people do homework about where they're going to eat on Yelp before they go, right? So it's like, do your research. Just research and pay attention. And so I hate the fact that social media, I don't know why they don't like Megan Thee Stallion. I don't know. At one point, they were applauding her in the same way as if they were applauding Lizzo. Right? For being a woman who was proud of who she is, how she is, and unapologetically so. But even then, there was vitriol for her when she showed the human side of her, of my feelings get hurt too. And I'm not always happy, and I'm not always happy with myself. Who is? Right. Everybody has those days. I wake up with days that I'm not happy with how I look, or, something that most people would think I'm super confident in. I might not be. I'm human. I'm allowed to have that. So is Lizzo. And I think I just think it's one of those things where people love to build you up and tear you down. And this was an opportunity, I think, to tear Megan down.
I think that, I'm not saying that this is true. I think that the reason why, I think in the beginning, everything that was reported was so, like, it was so gossipy. And it was mostly pointing the finger at her somehow. So I think that people kind of held on to that. But
my thing is this, though. It's like with any news story, I'm never going to go with the gossip. I don't go to Twitter for my research. I don't go to, I go to several different places. I try to go to reputable sources. I try to figure out what makes sense. Mm-hmm. I take all of that and then I come away. In my mind, I'm thinking, first of all, no, she didn't change her story a lot. So whoever started that is lying. The only thing she said was, I didn't call the cops right away because I was scared. The only thing that she changed, she told Gayle King, I did not sleep with Tory Lanez.
Right.
And that bit of information has nothing to do with her getting shot. Not one thing. Doesn't matter. That's the only thing that she changed. There's no other part of the story that she changed. She didn't say she stepped on glass. Someone else reported that. So that wasn't her. Again, it's one of those things where if you're going to have a conversation or debate, learn the facts first.
So let me ask you this from a legal standpoint. Like what? Like,
well, first of all, I'm not an attorney,
no,
so you can ask me from a legal standpoint, and I'll do my best to answer.
If that situation was not important, and it's not important to me, I really don't give a shit. But if it's not important, why would the defense or the prosecution ask her that? Like, why was that brought up in court?
Well, I think that was brought up in court because just like anything else, when you start to spread gossip or you start to put information out there that's not true, because the jury is part of the gossipers before they became jurors, right? You have to either denounce a lie that was told or debunk something that was said. And so since a lot of people were saying that, it would behoove the prosecution to say, what about the glass situation? Because I'm sure there were jurors who were thinking, well, I thought she stepped on glass. So you have to get rid of that lie.
I'm talking about the sleeping part.
The same thing.
Okay.
I think all of those things, when you are an attorney, your job is to, anything that the jurors might be thinking, you have to figure out a way to overturn that. You have to address that. Otherwise, you leave the jurors thinking, well, perhaps this was true. Perhaps, just like they'll say, so where are you from?
Right.
That has nothing to do with the case. But you're trying to paint a picture. You're creating a story for the jury. So you ask things like, so would you say that you have a lot of friends? Do people like you? What kind of person are you? It's characterization.
Right. I thought it was maybe
like me being an attorney.
I thought it was probably like motive, kind of like to find
sometimes,
motive.
But not necessarily. Sometimes, but at the end of the day, even if you're asking about, as a prosecution, if I'm asking her what kind of relationship you have with Tory Lanez, I want to figure out if I believe he was the one who shot you, why and what led to it.
Right.
Were you in fact lovers and he's disgruntled because you've moved on? That would provide motive.
Right.
So all of those things are definitely part of it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, my big thing, my soapbox stance is either we're going to care about what happens to Black women or we're not. So stop parading all of these, gifts and memes on social media that we care about Black women. When something happens to one, we don't.
I just hope she finds justice.
Oh, it's going to be some justice ahead. Now, what it's going to be, I don't know.
I just
hope something like this never happens again.
Yeah, for a while, I was like, man, this is going in the mistrial direction. But,
What made you think that?
Well, just because, mainly
because... mistrial? Do you understand the grounds for mistrial?
Well, you didn't find anything.
Who didn't find anything?
No, I'm not saying in this case. I was just saying because of all the convoluted stories of not necessarily her, but I'm talking about like Kelsey and...
Right, but that wouldn't be declared a mistrial. Her saying the things that she said, all of the testimony so far has looked bad for Tory Lanez, not for Megan. So that would not be a mistrial. That's called a slam dunk.
Got it.
So we'll see. He's not taking the stand. Both sides have rested, so we shall figure out what the verdict is shortly. And then, of course, I'll do a podcast on that.
And whomever.
See you later. I'm out. I got nothing else to say.
I thought you had a few things to say.
I don't. I was finished. I was so emotional about that. But anyway, again, protect Black women, protect Black men, protect all of us. That ultimately is my thing. I don't care just about Black women. I also care about the lives of young Black men, right? Because we are all we have. Period. On that note, I'll have my drink.
Yeah, there you go.